I want to talk about the lab that we currently, it's lab 4, and I'm just going to, in this lab, part 1, I'd like for you to create one project, okay? Create a project, just call it Chapter 5, Program Challenge, one project with multiple, 3 CPP files in one project in this thing, alright? So I just want one project with 3 CPP file with these names for the CPP files in there. All right, so let me pull up the first problem, and I want to walk you through this. This is from Chapter 5. A simple case switch statement is the first one. Is Chapter 3, and it's a simple telephone number with it. And let me just give you a little pointer to get you started on this thing if you haven't started. It says rewrite the program from example 5-5 telephone digit. Replace the statement from 10 to 28 so that the program may use a switch structure statement in the same. So if you look at the example 5-5, in my book, it's on page, second here. (5-5). Mine is on page 271 in my 6th edition book with it. So if you look at that particular problem with it, and if you come down to the while loop with this thing, and if you look at that structure it has, I'm on page 271. If you look at the line 10 where it has an if statement, you see that if statement in there? You need to replace that line 10, okay, starting with line 10, with a while loop, basically. So, just basically going in, and how do you switch that out with a switch statement? Okay, so remember now, in your switch statement, you cannot put in any operator in this thing. So, for example, if you had an if statement like this and it asks you to do some sort of logical operators with this thing, like an ampersand, okay, and this is your AND to make this an outcome with this thing. Here's the thing you have to remember. You cannot, this is a no-no, you cannot do this as doing a switch statement as this. You can't do a switch statement with this is to do the same things that you did up here. This will not work, okay, in this case, because switch statements only evaluates whatever values in here. So if you look at that statement with it, you're prompting the user for information, right? A letter in this case, and it reads in the letter from line 8, and that's what you need to evaluate. If you just remove that if letter is greater than A and letter is less than or equal to Z. If you look at that, you really don't need to have that if statement in there. You can go ahead and do the switch statement directly with it. So just remove line 10. It will work for you. Okay. And if you go over all the way to the next page with it, if you have the else statement at the bottom of it, you gotta remove that else statement in line 27 as well. Okay. Instead of that, so what would you put in when you actually have that? So I want you to fix that. So when you have that could be a part of your default, right? If you put anything else in with it. So line 27 becomes the default. There you go. I gave you the answer for the first problem already. Okay. So if you listened to my instruction carefully, you would have gotten that. All right. Here you go. All right. That's it for the first one.